Greetings, fellow duplicants. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Badlands, episode 26, which originally streamed live on Twitch. Vacuum sealing is overkill? Well, it was voted on. So whether I agree or not, it was voted, right? So we're gonna build it. So then, I need a gap. Yeah, it doesn't really need to be perfect, but I think what I'll do is I'll gap it here. Once I get people to build this part of it. I do not question the voters. Yeah, I just do. I mean, I would say part of the game is just to figure out how to do systems, whether or not the systems even make sense. It's kind of immaterial, according to me. It's like, how would I want to do this crazy harebrained project? It's like, it doesn't really matter if it like has value. It's still learning the engineering. It's more about the process of engineering than the results of how valid that engineering project is, because, you know, it's a video game, so. Perhaps I'm wrong. That's my 2 cents. So I'm just trying to envision how to air gap this thing. So if this was vacuumed there, I could vacuum it out here. So it doesn't need to be a perfect air gap, but just like majority air gap, and then put something like an insulated tile here. And then that becomes gapped. Where we have we have a 1 tile vacuum gap everywhere. I'll do it for science. There's not a lot of projects that my dupes are working on right now, so it should be relatively easy to get this done. So the other thing is we want a... I'm not going to connect it up purposely yet, but we're going to want to run the natural gas over to us, so I'll start to set up that piping as well as I flounder around about how I want to set this up. So as you can see, this is a 1 tile air gap that I'm building in. Yeah, there doesn't need to be a reason why. It's just Rad builds it because it was asked for. So I can stick 1 generator here, 1 generator here, and then this becomes an outer wall, and this becomes my airlock, like that. Whoa, the heck did I just click? Oh, come on now. The game's like, all right, click all the buttons. Every button click. All right, so my breather build is very high still. My food is in a constant state of, like, dropping, but not in a dangerous way where I'm concerned about it. We still have a little bit more dirt. Not too much dirt, but a little bit more dirt to keep the food rolling. Let me add dirt to the thing. 6 tons of dirt left. Come on, uproot it. And yeah, natural tiles can act as part of the airlock, but I'm just going to replace it with built tiles so that we can't, like, undig it. And then I think what it will do is we'll have a ladder here, and then mesh tiles here for the natty gas. No, that should be a mesh tile. I might have actually put the wall wrong. So 2 fits here. I think. Yeah, 2 fits there. And then this is going to become a wall for the air gap. I don't think that you want to live there, Dreco. Well, thinks that's the wrong place to live. An old hydrate. Yeah, I worked as a software developer for a long time, and I would fulfill client and customer requests, regardless of whether I thought they made any sort of sense or if they were affordable or anything like that. It is sort of the toxic customer's always right, but the thing is, they paid by the hour. So it doesn't really matter if the project was way out of scope or ridiculous or something like that, because I wasn't getting paid for the project, I was getting paid for the hour. So I was happy if their projects were absurd. I would try to talk them out of it, of course. I'm not going to debate them into something that they don't need. But, yeah, most non-tech savvy people don't really understand what goes behind software development, so they propose things that are totally harebrained, and I found it very difficult to try to explain why it didn't work. But, you know, some of that was just maybe a lack of my own communication skills. Who knows? I was also not the boss, so I didn't really have a stake in it either. Alright, could we dig this stupid thing already? I've been waiting this whole time. You're killing me, guys. Oh, you attacked him so hard, you made him drop an egg. You should not feel good about yourself. Can no one even reach that? No, we can reach that. There's no way they can't reach. I don't know. Now that we remove this. Do it now! Yeah, that Draco is going to go deep into the void if he ain't careful. There we go. It's a miracle. And it's dead. Well, now he's truly in the void. I state my lack of communication skills while presenting complicated game mechanics to almost 150 people. True. True. I'd like to think I'm a good communicator, but that doesn't necessarily mean when I'm frustrated with, like, Luddites, that I can explain why what they want is ridiculous. You know what I mean? I was also, I've worked for a lot of software development companies before that didn't have, like, a dev manager or anyone that would be in that role. And I think that was another one of the problems, which is, like, I worked in a lot of companies that didn't have a liaison between the developers, which just code, and everybody else. What's going on here? Why aren't we smashing these? Oh, because I never said so. That would be why. I'm also going to get rid of the pufflet eggs, because I don't think that, well, we didn't vote on that either. Whoa. All of that ventilation got done. That was quick. Now, another thing is because we're introducing the ventilation through a pipe, that's also a gap in the airlock as well. But it shouldn't be too much of a conductor. We can't reach that yet, so I have to break it. Am I planning on tuning the natural gas, Jenny? Yes, and I do realize that I have no space for that. I will work on that. So we would need a power control station. What I could do is I could put the power control station in the water down below, where the polluted water goes. Because I don't think it needs... No, it might get swamped. So, yeah, maybe I put this here and nudge everything over to the right a bit. That's a good point. Let's just jump to that now. 2 more mesh tiles, and... power control station. And then in this spot, I can have the lead to be able to tune it up. What is printable? Hatch eggs. I think I'm going to start a hatch ranch again. I think that's a very good goal. So I'm going to remove the gloss eggs, stick in the hatch eggs, and start running... because we already have like everything that we need for a hatch ranch. So what I will do here is have this be like just a green duration the whole time, so that the incubators are running, and get those eggs lullabied and incubated. It's gonna tap my... well, you know, I'm not that urgent. I don't feel like it's all that urgent, so I'll turn them off most of the time. But we lullabied both already. Because that was the runner-up goal here, so I'm going to add that to the run-up goal. And hatch ranch for meat. Okay, cool. If you have any questions about the current project here, just feel free to ask. So there we go. There's the power control station, and that's taller. Yeah, of course it is, because... I'm a super genius. Alright, let me lower that 1 tile. And everyone's on break. So we'll have an outside wall here, and then a wall here. So this will all be wall. And I think my patience is going to mark these as 7. So the last power up here, I'm going to do lead to... 1500, copy, and paste, because we don't need so much lead in there. That's weird, though. Oh, because I probably have to empty it out. And... there. Another thing that I could do once I move... once I set up the new power plant is to move the old power plant down to be less of a problem power-wise. There we go. Hi, Yoda. You want a free treat? I want to give you a free treat. These will be reachable once I unlock these doors. No, auto. Yeah. Or I could just dig around the outside, but it's easier just to unlock them. What am I planning on doing the polluted water? I don't know. I do not know. Cooling it down, using it, feeding it. I'll have to figure that out. Filtering it. I could also grab the very cold water from the desalination process up here and feed that into my water grid, and then the hot polluted water will be offset by the cold water. That's a possibility. All right, let's lock these. The plumbing got set. So, power plants finally. Made of gas, made of iron. What is the melt temperature actually? I wonder if I should make these out of steel. These things melt down. Yeah, you know what? It's probably wise for me to make these out of steel, I think. I don't know. What material to make the nat gens out of? Iron or steel? Leave it up to you. I could do iron, and then if they have meltdown problems, I could replace it with steel. Or I could just jump straight to steel. So then down here, what I'm going to want is a pump to be able to pump the polluted water out. Usually, what I find is best is if it troughs like this, so that the water collects. But of course, it doesn't work perfectly. But that gives me the best chance to get the water out. And then I'll dig for the bottom part of the airlock. So this section here, well, except for there, is mostly going to be floating in a vacuum. So then what we will have is a gas pump placed like there that will suck all the air out in the gap so that there isn't heat that is conducting through or out of here. And this is small enough that it's a valid power plant. The way to make it smaller would be to stick like a pneumatic door exactly where I put that bin. So I'll move this bin here. And then stick a pneumatic door there and just keep it open all the time because it wouldn't matter. Copy settings. Copy settings. Ow, what is the thing? Okay, hold on. Because power plants, of course, need to be in enclosed space for them to work properly. So that pneumatic door encloses the area so it can act as a power plant. And yeah, you can see how it's coming together. So it's gonna look something like this, where we have the vacuum tunnel like that. So it's 100% vacuumed out around it, and the only way to convect heat is the few contacts, which isn't going to let a lot of heat bleed in. Again, I will say, I'll repeat, I don't think it was a necessary project, but I'm happy to do it, so it doesn't matter. All right, looks like you guys want me to go straight for steel. That's cool. I think I need to make 13 steel then, I believe. What is that? How much steel per batch? Oh my god, the autosaves are killing me. 100 kilograms per steel per batch. I have... Ooh, who's trapped? Oh, yep, you peed in your soup. Viper, in his infinite wisdom, locked himself on the other side of that door, and I didn't even notice. So this is gonna be gross. Where is Viper right now? Yep. Oops. Alright, could you guys lock this already? And it looks like my salt amount inside is not getting supplied. So we're mopping up his pee water. Heat is conducted through gases as well, yes. What I'm planning on doing is I'm planning to take this gas pump and pump out all the gases so that it looks something like this. So here, this leaky oil fissure can only heat up the things that it directly touches, and then because it's vacuum around it, that heat can't conduct outwards. In the case of a natural gas plant, the heat will be able to conduct through this insulated gas pipe, through this insulated tile, and one other insulated tile, and then the heavy watt joint plate. But like for the majority of it, it can't be conducted. So, that works well. All right, and then we're going to need another heavy watt joint plate here. Thank you for locking the doors. Yeah, I just haven't vacuumed it out yet. And then this ladder would actually allow them to conduct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them delete the ladder from top down so they can remove all the ladder and then remove the debris from the ladder. Just for aesthetics, I'm going to... Well, actually, that's not true. Go like that. Dig a little lower so that we have space to build the gap. Before we start filling this with liquids, I want to sweep everything out from out there. This can be forced open. And then this vent pipe is going to be another conductor, but whatever. So this will run out to this drop. So we'll do gas bridge there. Like that. So for the leaky oil fissure up there, this is a perfect air gap where the heat can't get out. For the natural gas generator, it's very imperfect. Oh, it's Viper that's stressed. Yeah, that makes sense. That would be my fault. But at least all that pea water is all mopped up. And I will high priority sweep it so it doesn't outgas polluted oxygen. Have we been making the steel? Oh, we have. I am out of coolant. Yeah, I am totally out of coolant. So one of the things that we were going to do that I hadn't set up yet is a way to take the cooled oil and reuse it. This is a very bad project. I'm just going to say it bluntly. It is very crude. Okay, that's a terrible pun. But it is very rudimentary, and I don't care. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a valve so that I can stop it if I need to or whatever. Don't forget the space for the CO2. Yeah, for the CO2, I could just do a gas. True. Well, I could have a mini pump. I have plastic, right? So I could do a mini pump for gas here. Might as well build it. I don't think it's going to heat up enough to do damage to the mini pump. I hope. Did we end up getting that salt? We got that salt. We got this salt, except for the stuff I can't reach. Let me go to the consumable ore overlay so I can actually see the salt. White stuff. Yeah, we must have dug it out, because I only see white stuff here and there. And a little here. Oh yeah, yeah, we did get the salt. There we go. Perfect. So this is nearly done. The other thing I need to do, which I didn't do, is to have a way to power this up. I'm going to do a heavy watt bridge here, so it doesn't interrupt the heavy watt cables, which does not bridge. And then run power to that. Because I am quickly not going to have... Oh, yes. Good job, Hess. I'm quickly going to not have the ability to move there. Get out of there, dude. Dudette, whatever you are. How long do I expect that salt to last? Probably not that long, but what I can do is, once it starts to really run low, I can start to desalinate as a method to remedy my limited salt supply. So then, for those of you that are worried about aesthetics, the reason why I don't have these touching is heat, I believe, doesn't conduct on a diagonal. So this doesn't allow the heat to move out as easily. Again, this is an imperfect solution, so it doesn't really matter. But just let you know. So then this stuff can bridge here. And again, that adds more conduction. All right. Who's idle? You idle because you're stuck. Yes. Yes, you are. That's the second time you're stuck. Just pointing that out. Fertilizer, yes. And who has skills? Jeez, you're probably the one I want to assign skills. I will give you 2 construction. So this is an unreachable build, so I'm going to have to break that down. Break these walls down, and then I'll put them back as soon as I'm done. So we're nearly done. My steel is at 900 kilograms, so that's enough for at least one of these things. Made out of steel. There's also the worry, of course, of the liquid pump melting down. That is, obviously a thing. For now, I'm going to signal switch this so that I can turn the stuff off easily. Because I will start to move my smart batteries and things like that, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Now, the other issue with air gapping things like smart batteries that produce power is if there's nowhere for that heat to go, the battery will slowly just keep warming up and up and up and up and up, and then it will reach a point where it melts down. So air locking is not exactly like a perfect solution for things that generate their own heat. If the heat can then destroy it. Does that make sense? Got to be careful about that. Alright, what is this power station? I'll just copy it over. Alright, there we go. Still waiting on this stuff to be swept. And that cable to be plugged in. How's those hatches doing? 38 and 38. I think I'm going to use up the power to speed up the process. Use a little coal to make a little food. Okay, I don't want that pump on until this is built, so let's critical sweep that to enclose it. Because right now what's happening is just random chlorine is going to go into the pump until it's done. Hey guys, top priority. Oh, you know what? I could actually also be out of storage space. No, I still have storage space. These guys are just bad at prioritizing. I like how they're just ignoring it. They're like, yeah. You made it an emergency, but what's really an emergency? Oh my lord, why aren't they getting it? What is going on? They're just ignoring me now. It's reachable, right? Like, yeah, it is reachable. Come on, guys. What's going on here? Sweep it up. Oh my god, finally. You trolls. You absolute trolls. It does mean that I'm going to leave this gas pump in here, because I really don't have a way to get the gas pump out. Alright. It's going going to take a while for the polluted oxygen and the chlorine that is in this to get pumped out, but it doesn't really matter because it's not critical. Now, another weird thing is that this pump and the other things that rely on electricity here should not be part of the power generation, because the natural gas generators aren't necessarily going to be on all the time. So I want this pump and this pump to be run off of a different network and not have it be a feedback loop. And here's our coolant. It's crude, coming in at like 2 Celsius, so that's plenty cold. And you can see the loop here going, and the liquid valve allowing it. I don't have a temperature test for that that liquid pump. It's going to allow coolant of any temperature because I hadn't set that up. All right. We also have... It's probably not going to get hot enough to get to boiling here, but I might want to have crude oil in the locks just in case. So I will do that. Crude at 9. Crude at 9. And sweep up the crude oil that I've mopped. Some of the non-crude is getting tagged here, but I don't really care. We'll sweep it up anyway. Okay, looking good. Oh, there's one pea water I missed. Well, everything's running smoothly so far. Kcals are lowering. I knew that they would. And stress is back down now that Viper's not stuck. This is up to 9 critters, so it's time to call one. 16-year-old, 24-year-old, 60. Mr. 60. Oh, we laid a regular Drecklid egg. Let me just crush that. That will also lower the... Oh, we're already doing the crushing. That will lower the population down by 1, too. Eggs count as pop. Eggs and critters. Hey, James. Thank you for the follow. Good stream yesterday. I was happy to give you a little raid. I mostly lurked, I'll be honest. Welcome back. Or welcome for the first time, perhaps. So I think now that I'm doing a ruggedized power system, I am going to prefer... Oh, 1K watt lines for everything. Well, let me think about that before I actually commit to that. So for power, we've got the large power transformers for 4K watt lines. Is this... And it is indeed heat efficient. The problem is that the wires don't, there aren't really wires that do 4K watts. So what I could do is, yeah, so that doesn't really help me out. And So let me try to explain this a little better. There's 2 types of power transformers. There's the small ones and the large ones, and they produce the same amount of heat, but the large ones allows you to limit the power to 4 kilowatts. But like, cables don't require 4 kilowatts. There's a 1 kilowatt wire, there's a 2 kilowatt wire, and then it jumps straight up to 20 and 50. And the 20s and 50s can't be built into walls. They're also extraordinarily ugly, so they're hard to deal with. So generally speaking, your bases are mostly made out of 1K and 2K watt lines. And you just have to pick whether you want 1K or 2K watt lines. And then for the things that require a lot of power, like, you know, systems that are very power heavy, then what you do is you, yeah, that is unreachable. I'm gonna have to break that down. Then, you know, for the things that require a lot of wattage, you just run it off the trunk. You know, you run it off of your 50 or 20K watt lines. So, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna design the whole base to just be 1K watt lines. And that will be it. That will be how we handle it. And then only have 2K or... So I'll have some 2K watt lines, but for things like the steel generator that literally can't run off of 1 kilowatt because it produces too much heat. Or requires too much power, rather. So we're going to stick another natural gas generator in here and wire that up. And slowly but surely pull the gas out of the surrounding area. So then this is the drops for the natural gas. We can complete that build. And it looks like maybe I calculated incorrectly how much steel I needed. I think it was actually 400 apiece. So I'm going to have some extra steel. No, 800. Oh, yeah, right, because we're... Yeah, okay. I'll still make a little bit more steel. Did it really register to be built with steel? No, it did not. That's why. I was wondering about that. I was like, why do I have extra steel? I should have just copied the steel one over. Alright, then the no gas output. We will gas bridge it. Like that. So then the unwanted gas just goes straight to space. The other thing that I probably want to do, because this is going to be hot gas, is to replace this line here with insulated. Whoa. So that I'm not running hot gases through the base. I mean, this insulation line still will bleed out a little bit of heat, but not nearly as much as the uninsulated line. So that's a rather big project there, but if you wanted even better insulation lines, you could make ceramic out of coal and clay, or you could wait for sort of the space age materials that you gain access to later. But you don't, I mean, there's no point doing that. It's very expensive. So then the other part of this project is the power trunk. So here's the power trunk. Here is the heavy watt wire. And what I want to do with this heavy watt wire is to feed the base from transformers, maybe outside the base. I don't even like this ladder. I think I'm going to feed it here. So I'm going to dig a vertical shaft here so that I can have power transformers feed everything from the left. I'll leave the ethanol alone. I'll go this high. And then here, this is a pneumatic door. This should get destroyed. Oh, actually, let's not tap into this area yet, because this area is internal to the base, I'm going to lock this edge down so that it's outside the base. The uptime looks broken. Yes, it does. I don't know how that keeps happening. 20-hour marathon. Rip me. Oh yeah, the uptime is totally... I thought I updated this. That's weird. What is the name of my planetoid? You mean like Badlands? I think it's just called Badlands. I mean, that's the biome. That's the type of planetoid, rather. Alright, so over here, what we're doing is just a straight wall. So that this becomes outside the base. And we have new printables that I didn't notice. Dirt. Oddly, yes. Dirt is what I need the most. I don't believe there's any skills that I want to award anyone else. You want this to be called Rhadamant Land? I believe that was the name of my last one. So it'll be a bit redundant, I think. Alright, so I did get the steel finally. I noticed. So there we are. And then complete this power plant, and then once there's something to feed to this, I'll get this going. Welcome, Flonk. Thank you for tuning in. And welcome to the stream. Welcome to Twitch in general, I guess. So if this is my trunk, I'm going to have it run all the way over here. This is turning into a kind of a larger project, but it is going to be the backbone of my forever power grid. You know, the power grid that I use forever. So it serves a pretty important purpose in the long run. Building for the future. What other exploration did we do? So we're working on getting some sand. There's salt rather. There's still a fair bit of salt left to be grabbed. While I'm working on this project, I need to make sure that the other things that I need to do are still being managed, you know? Yeah, so there's plenty of salt that still has to be hoovered up. No problem. The oil liquid locks are still not full. Did I run out of oil? I am just about out of oil, so let's dig out this way. Gaining access to a little bit more oil so that we can complete those locks. And I'm going to raise the priority of this because they are taking their sweet time. So currently there's nowhere for these power generators to actually send their power, so that's what we're working on now. We're going to have this heavy watt line go all the way over here. Actually, I don't even think I need this. Well, alright, it wouldn't hurt. In case I need to pump more oil in the future. So the heavy watt line go over here and then feed a bank of batteries that'll store in this section, perhaps. And then the bank of batteries then sends their power out to transformers that are built just left of the base. feeding 1 kilowatt lines into the base. So you'd have something like, or 2 kilowatt lines. Yeah, how about you vote on that? Should I do 1 kW or 2 kW? It'd be up to you. The amount of heat that they generate is kind of not that... It doesn't really matter that much. So it's not a big deal whether it's 1 or 2 kilowatts. Doesn't have a lot of bearing. It does look like my salt is not looking so good in terms of what we have ready to be stored. So that I do not run out of oxygen, I'm going to high priority haul the salt here. Don't care about the mafic or the abyssalite, but that salt needs to move. It's a lot of tonnage, so this should keep us breathing for a bit. Where's the other salt pit? Was here. Nope, that's mafic. Okay. That should be okay. Too much liquid there. Instead of digging here, I think what I'm going to do is dig here and stop mopping here because it's going to be easier to get this oil because it's at the bottom of my my like high-speed chute. And I'll give you 2.5 minutes. I don't know how to do a half. 2.5 minutes for whether it's 1 kilowatt or 2 kilowatt lines. It looks like 2 kilowatt lines is going to be the clear winner. Some of the things can be 1 kilowatt lines that like don't matter, like this 300 watt requirement for the power plant. So lead at, and then this, yeah, okay, that's already set up. Cool. That's some dense as hell salt. Yeah. Yes, it is. So in this situation here, this polluted oxygen and chlorine haven't gotten over to the vacuum of this gas pump. I can leave this pump on all the time, it doesn't really matter. Once it gets a little gas, it will pull it out. But it's it's a very inefficient system because of the pump placement, but you know, whatever. Oh, hi sand. So then over here, we are going to want smart batteries. And then to send the signal of the smart batteries back to the power plant. So I'll probably have it run... What do you think about this? I'll probably have... Let's make it very power efficient. So a smart battery produces 500 DTUs, and a jumbo battery produces So it produces 2.5 times more, but it holds 40 kilojoules, whereas the smart battery holds 20 kilo... You know what? It's actually less efficient. Okay, smart batteries all the way. Time to be geniuses. Wicked smart. Probably don't need that many. Go to 6, maybe to 4 batteries, and it'll have it be extendable. So if I require more in the future, I can add more in the future. Okay, 2 kilowatt lines. You got it. How's my hatches? Oh, what the heck are you doing there? Yeah, no, seriously, what the heck are you doing there? How'd you even get in there? Oh, because this is open? And that glossy just, like, roamed free? I really don't understand how that worked. You must have... Oh, you know what? You know what happened? This egg just wild hatched. That makes sense. Alright, let's, actually, let's wrangle you. How many... 8 critters in there, so let me kill the oldest critter, because I need meat. I'll kill the 2 oldest critters for meat. My K-cows are still hovering around 40k K-cows. Not terrible. And then these little hatchlings are going to start to, I'll start to ranch them for their meat as well. Alright, did we get down here to mop? Nope. So, who was starving? So in terms of coolant, yeah, I gotta say this very makeshift, very simple coolant line works. I mean, it's obviously absolutely destroying the cold biome there, but yeah, whatever. I'm gonna make a few more batches of steel. Let's go up to 20 batches, just to keep an eye on it and enable the light bulb so we do it faster. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Badlands, which originally streamed live on Twitch March 24th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. But please keep in mind that this is a casual series, so I'm not really all that interested about gameplay mechanic suggestions. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams, and Discord, the link can be found in the description, has some events, which will give you notifications about upcoming streams. And of course, episodes released on YouTube. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you in next episode. Farewell.